So, how did we end up in a van?
I just blanked. Let's jump back a few years to the summer of 2014 when Chris and I first met. We were co-leaders in a cycling tour biking from Seattle to New York City with a nonprofit biking for Burmese refugees. We saw each other in some really kind of hard situations. It was 8 weeks of mountains and valleys, and some days we didn't have showers and there was a lot of spandex, and it was just, we saw each other at some of our highest points but also some of our lowest points that summer. And that was our first instinct that we can make an unusual lifestyle work.
I just like to say that she really liked how I looked in spandex, so.
Every time.
Jumping forward to 2016, we've been dating, and then we decided to elope in the mountains of Washington State.
We moved to Seattle that same summer.
Yeah.
Moving to the Pacific Northwest really, I think it changed our lives. Like we're both from the Southeast and we love the Southeast, but moving to the mountains really felt like going home in a way. We both love camping and hiking and just everything about the Northwest. We love the culture, we love the coffee. So.
And we loved our 2007 Prius that we would take everywhere with us. And so we would.
It was our little adventure mobile back then.
We would drive up the mountains in the middle of winter when, and it doesn't have 4-wheel drive.
We took that Prius places it never should have gone. It was really good for us. We loaded every chance we got. We loaded up with our camping gear or our hammocks and we just go spend the weekend somewhere. And that was really our first taste of like, we want something more permanent than this. So from the time we got married, we were putting away money. We saved extra wedding money that we had put aside for the wedding that we ended up eloping, and we took all of our extra savings and we didn't take very many vacations because we knew we wanted to save for something that was ultimately going to be a longer trip, longer adventure. So after years of research, we weighed options of buying land and building a cabin first, or buying an Airstream, and then finally stumbling into the whole van life world. We discovered it on Instagram and YouTube.
It is a deep, dark hole, this whole van life
We keep
world.
joking about that. Yeah, we had no idea this whole world existed. And it ended up, after weighing our options, it ended up being the best fit for us. And we looked at several camper vans and RVs and stuff like that, and we decided that this was it for us. Our timeline was that we were gonna buy it in December of 2018, so this past December, but once our landlord, in typical Seattle fashion, upped our rent with 30 days notice.
He gave us the ultimatum that your rent's going up or you can leave, and so.
We just didn't want to pay what he was asking, so we could have moved across town, but we were so close and we were ready. We had the money to go ahead and go on our adventure for the van, and so we just went ahead and bit the bullet.
But I feel like we can always give excuses on why like now's not the right time.
Yeah.
And we just decided that this is going to be the right time. Like, it's not perfect, but we made it work. And so we took our Prius and we drove ourselves to Georgia to work on the van.
In the summer.
In the summer.
It was hot.
Yeah, her parents live in Georgia, and so.
Yeah, so it was long days, a lot of hours put in.
And I mean, we had saved money, but we were also working during this time too. So we would do our normal job during part of the day, and then work
on the van,
and then work more at night. Like it was.
And our weekends were just completely booked solid with van stuff.
Yeah.
It was really hard. Like, but we learned so much. Like, we went in with like, oh, we're gonna get this done in 6 weeks, and
yeah, big mistake.
Nothing happens like that.
It was literally like every week it was like, oh, we're gonna be done this week. We're gonna be done this week.
Yeah.
And we weren't.
We never were.
Week. So why a van? Why van life?
Like for years we kind of just passed by these places in our Prius, or we were in them for a short amount of time, or we saw them from a bike seat, and we didn't want it to just be a weekend adventure. So we decided to make it full time, and we wanted something that allowed us to get up close and personal with the places we'd seen, and to be able to meet a lot of people along the way, and Also, I think for years we also have kind of gravitated towards like the minimalist lifestyle, which is sort of a trend right now. We wouldn't really call ourselves like full-on minimalist. We still have a storage unit with furniture in Seattle, but we definitely try to be like responsible consumers.
Less is more, though.
Less is more.
We believe that.
And we do believe in like less clutter, and so we realized that we didn't really need a ton of space.
Well, and this is like the ultimate test for us.
Yeah, this is a good test.
You know, like how much can we live without all the stuff that we have?
And we're still dropping stuff off at Goodwill fairly often. I mean, we're learning what we really don't need to. So we've told you guys that we want to have adventures in the van. We've told you that we want to see places, and that I think a really key point that we've touched on but we haven't really expounded upon is we want to meet people and we want to tell stories along the way. And I think that's really at the core of our relationship is community.
I mean, everything that we have participated in, it's always been for something more than ourselves. Like, I feel like that anyway.
Yeah.
And so, like, van life's great, and the van's great, and we're able to see all these different places, but
it's really easy to get selfish with it and make it about you.
Yeah.
And so we're guilty of that too.
But we're using the van as a tool, like, to go to these places, to meet these people, to share these experiences with you and with other people that, you know, that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise.
So as we meet both new and old friends along the way, we really want to find some incredible people and share those stories with you guys.
I think the thing is that there's far more interesting and inspiring people than us. And luckily, we get to know some of these people, and if we can share their stories with you, I think we've done just a little bit of our job.
So this is why we chose to live in a van. We're still figuring out exactly how all of our dreams and wants of living in a van, how it's going to come together, but we're doing it slowly.
Yeah, I think we're choosing experiences over things, and we're choosing community over competition.
So while we love the whole van life trend, and we've loved van life so far, we never set out for it to be like a forever kind of thing for us. That being said, there's no wind in sight. We committed to at least a year, and we're moving really slow across this country.
We're moving really slow. I mean, this is the phase that we're in right now of life.
We have nowhere to be. I mean, we're still working on the road, and that's a huge gift that we're able to do that. So we're here for now. But that being said, we don't want our whole identity to be wrapped up in like a van. So you agree with that?
No, I agree with that. Like, the van's just a tool.
It's just a tool.
It's not our identity.
Yeah, I mean, we use it to eat, sleep, and work, and past that, it just gets us from one adventure or one town to the next. So for this season of life, it fits us really well for where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, that's who we are. That's us.
Yeah, this is us. Now that's a TV show. It may not be the traditional idea of van life.
It probably won't work for you, and it probably won't work for anybody else, but it works for us.
Yeah, I mean, we customize the van, and we're customizing the way we do it for us. And we're not trying to like tell anybody this is how you do it. We're not trying to make a whole new version of van life, but we hope that maybe this inspires you into your own adventure or your own nomadic travels or whatever it is you're hoping to be inspired and encouraged in. So this is where we're at, and we're really glad you're following along the journey with us.